Hello, everyone.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
I'm not doing well. I'm not going to give you a rote answer, Alicia. My back is killing me. It's tight. I'm old. I don't know what's going on. I
You
pick
got
up
to
my
do some
kids.
yoga.
I need to do more yoga. That's it. Everybody says yoga. I got to do that.
That's the answer.
Yeah. So I got ice on my back. I'm working from home. It's fine. Fine for now. I'm going to see the chiropractor. So cool. How are you doing?
Sorry.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling
Are you
good.
sick of everybody asking you that? How are you feeling?
Everyone does always ask me that.
They're basically saying, did you throw up today?
Right. Right. Yeah. No, I'm feeling good. I
Good.
actually, today or yesterday, I'm finally in my 6 months. So.
Nice. Wow.
It's going by fast.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Joe Shaw.
Hello, hello.
Adriana, how you doing?
I'm
Lauren,
good. How are you?
doing well. Doing well.
Don't mind me. I'm finishing my salad from lunch.
I mind. It's not allowed.
You'll be okay, Doug.
You know we have very few rules, and one of them is don't eat. Trying to keep my sense of humor. I was just sharing how badly my back hurts, as if everybody wants to hear about that bullshit.
Oh no, what'd you do?
I don't know. Pick up kids, play Hot Wheels on the ground, go for a run. I don't know.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, whatever.
Huh. Kind of like, yeah, whatever.
I'll make it. I will make it. I'm excited to see so many of you.
I just talked to Melissa. She said she's jumping on in a minute. She was trying to find the Zoom link. I told her where to get it.
Yeah. As long as she's not eating, she's allowed. Jason said he should have videos done hopefully pretty soon.
Yay.
Yay. Super cool. I'm excited to see them. You guys all sent your stuff in, right?
Yeah.
I think I was the last one to send it in.
Way to be a procrastinator, Doug.
Yep. I hate how Zoom makes me admit people into the rooms all the time, so I have to sit here and watch my little sidebar. So I think there's only two options: to either give everybody a passcode, which they're not going to be able to complete, or I just sit here and admit people. So, AJ, what's going on, man?
Buddy, you can turn that off in settings, and you might be able to turn it off actually if you click participants. There might be an option.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna
like,
look at it. I'd rather just
that same issue. Like Zoom will go back and like change it on you. I think like with new updates. Yeah, but it is a pain to have to monitor that.
We do Zooms now for like my family holidays. We did one for Halloween with my kids, and then we did it over the Christmas holiday. And I swear to God, I think I just wasn't paying attention, and then people have to like text you and like, hey, let me in the room, and they're been there for like 10 minutes before they realize they get so
Yep.
that's me.
Yep.
All good.
I've been there.
All good. So you want to start on time? Starting on time.
Yeah. Where's everybody at? Everyone had
All right,
their video.
let me start. Okay. I have things to say. All right. All right. AJ MIda and I started real estate. We've known each other for about over 8 years now. So we started in real estate about the same time outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, on the shores of Lake Norman. So we both went through Keller Williams' initial training program. I won't do the whole story right now, but long story short, AJ took off like a rocket ship. And you'll probably see in this hour that we get to spend with him, he just thinks differently than most of the people I've ever met in my whole life. So he took off like a rocket ship. It took me 10 months to close my first deal. I was working at Gold's Gym. I was trying to find my way. I tugged on his sleeve at some point. I said, hey, I'm going to have my first kid, and I have no business in North Carolina, and I need to move to Florida. So how can I become a great agent? And, it sounds like a daunting task. I need to do all of it in like 6 months. But guess what? We got in the office, we called expireds. I listed properties. I listed a farmhouse. I listed another house, and the rest is history. I sold about $2 million worth of real estate before I left North Carolina. And then it helped me kick off what I needed to do in Florida. I capped in 6 months. Once I got to Florida, my wife quit her job, and I'm inspired by this guy. And one more thing I'll share before AJ starts sharing his story. I was listening to a book this morning, The Psychology of Money. And one of the things the author said made me think of AJ. Money only enhances who you are. And it enhances the good and the bad. Okay. And he goes into it a little bit. I knew AJ when he was living on credit cards. Okay. Who you see today has only been enhanced by what he has worked so damn hard for and what he's been being given. And he's just an awesome guy. And he'll be, from this day forward, he'll be a resource for all you guys. So I'm done. Go for it.
Awesome, Doug. Thanks for that introduction, man.
Yeah.
I have another friend reading that book right now. And so you're the second person like in the last week that I've heard of that book. So I'm gonna have to check it out.
I'm actually in a wealth building. I raised my hand for a wealth building group that meets on Friday at 4:30 with a Facebook friend of mine that I don't really know very well. So I'm going to meet some new people on Friday at 4:30. So
good for you, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And that's a great quote. And I've heard it before. It's like money makes you more of who you already are. And I like that quote too, because, do you want me to talk most about revenue share, Doug, today?
Yeah, I think right now I'm just looking at our roster, and everybody right now, I did invite people that were not in the mentorship program, but everybody here is. So, I mean, whatever you want to talk about, to be honest with you.
Okay, cool. So like one of the holdups, and the reason the book is bringing that quote up, The Psychology of Money, is one of the holdups that people have is they think that if they make a lot of money, then they're going to be like, Scrooge, like they're going to be like this rich person who's greedy, who people don't like, who's, a little bit of an a-hole. So subconsciously they sabotage themselves from making money, that they reach a certain threshold. Maybe they start making $100,000 a year, and then they hit their financial thermostat and it automatically cools back down. And it's a subconscious thing. So it's like, if you feel maybe that might be you a little bit, that I think that's something to kind of dig into and be like, is that happening to me? Am I subconsciously sabotaging my success because of what my perception, how I was raised to look at rich people is a little distorted. And if you're a good person right now, the good news is the more money you make, the more good you can do in the world. So I love that, Doug. Great way to start the call. Good focus. So I'll just share my story, guys, and kind of open it up to some questions, and we can kind of just craft the conversation for what's important to you guys. It can be revenue share focused a little bit. I do want to share my story specifically for revenue share, just to show you what's possible with the opportunity at EXP. And then if you have questions maybe about selling real estate, I'm happy to help with that too. So like Doug said, I got started in real estate about 8-9 years ago now, end of 2012, and joined Keller Williams. Had a good experience there. I always said I'd actually never leave Keller Williams to join another brokerage. If I ever left, it would be to start my own. And saw EXP presentation and made the switch shortly thereafter. So I had been at KW about 4 years, had a small team there. We were doing about 20 million a year in sales. In Lake Norman, North Carolina, that's about 85 sales a year or so, at least based on my average price point at the time. So 4 years ago, actually, as of January 1st, I made the switch to EXP because I saw a path to really the end goal that I was looking to accomplish through getting into real estate. We probably all have different reasons why we got our real estate license. Mine was because I wanted freedom. I wanted financial freedom. I wanted time freedom. And I thought if I could get location freedom, that would be pretty cool too. Because I grew up with a little bit of money, and any arguments that I ever saw between my mom and her boyfriend were because of money. And just from a young kid, I realized that, money doesn't solve all issues. Money doesn't, buy lasting happiness at least, but you can certainly buy some things that make you happy for a minute. We've all experienced that, I'm sure. But I just saw a lot of problems from lack of financial resources. So it was planted in my heart as a young kid to be financially successful one day. So when I got into real estate, I quickly realized while you can make a lot of money as a real estate agent, you can also quickly get burned out. And the more money you make, typically, the less time you have. If you have a lot of time in real estate, it's because you don't have a lot of clients, so you're lacking money. And I think there's a nice balance that you can get between having enough money and enough time. So I found myself making good money in real estate. I found myself balancing my schedule pretty well. I had good freedom in terms of most agents, work a lot of nights and weekends. I was a listing agent primarily, so I was home most nights and weekends. So I had decent balance, but what I didn't have was peace of mind. At 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, I might be thinking about, a price reduction I have to get on one of my listings, or I just got an offer sent to me that wants an immediate response. And I just found myself just kind of getting burnt out from always having to be on as an agent. And what I've discovered is I wasn't alone. If you've been in the business for any amount of time and have sold a decent amount of houses, I mean, even like 12 to 24 houses for the last few years, you've probably experienced at times a little bit of burnout. So that was my story. And when I saw EXP, I saw the revenue share as a way to get that freedom I was looking for, because what I discovered was when you're trading your hours for dollars, you're always going to be working for a living, and you'll never have that true freedom. The only way to have true freedom in life is to have a residual income stream that eventually pays for all your living expenses. That's what I consider financial freedom. I don't care if you only need $3,000 a month to live. Once your residual income meets those needs, you're financially free. And with revenue share, it's the best hands down way to do that as a real estate agent. You can think right now, do it later, do it right now on a piece of paper there, like how much money do you need per month to live? Like, not how much money do you want to earn. Like, I got off the phone with one of my newer EXP agents this morning, and I have my notes right here. She wants to make $20,000 per month in 3 years. Because I asked her, like, what would be a win for you? Where in 3 years, you said, I'm making X amount of money. EXP is the best financial decision I ever made. And she said 20K. Now, for most people, living expense wise, it's around $5,000, $6,000 a month. So maybe your number is 5,000 or 6,000 to replace your living expenses. So you have like, what do you need to survive right now? And then you have like this dream lifestyle. So that's kind of how I like to look at revenue share. So like when setting a goal, an income goal for revenue share, it's like, do you want this dream income? And if you do, great. What is that number? But also set your number right now just to pay for your current lifestyle. So when I joined EXP, my current living was probably like $8,000 a month is what I needed to live. And dream was about $25,000 a month. So I set my goal at $25,000 a month, basically in 5 years is what I wanted to do. A because what I saw is that if I could personally enroll 5 agents per year into the company for 5 years, so just 25 people that I personally got, that through our 7 tiers of revenue share, those 25 people would tell their friends, they tell their friends, and then my revenue share organization would be about 500 agents. And in our model, that's like 300 to 400 grand a year. So I'd be pretty locked in at 25,000 a month. And that 25,000 a month, I crunched the numbers. I could live anywhere I wanted in the US and live in a pretty nice house and have a nice car and all those things. You know, nothing extravagant, but very nice. And what I discovered was that attracting agents to EXP was actually a lot easier than getting listings and buyers. It took less time, it took less money, and I enjoyed it more. So instead of sponsoring just 5 agents a year to the company, my first year I sponsored 9. And then my next year I sponsored about 20 to 25. So in just 18 months, I sponsored a total of 25 agents. So it took me 18 months to get 25 instead of 5 years. And in 18 months, my team grew into 524 agents. And that month I earned $25,000. This was June 2018, and it's never been less since. So it's a massive, massive opportunity. And it's a math equation at this point. We have all the training, we have all the documented systems, we have the numbers where if you hit your numbers, just like in your real estate sales business, if you make X amount of contacts, you'll get X amount of listings. You can do that same thing for revenue share. So when I joined, it was like, hopefully this works. You know, we only had 2,400 agents. We weren't yet on the NASDAQ. Everybody was laughing at us. So it was like, hopefully this works. Now it's proven to work. It's just a matter if you're going to do the work. So that's the revenue share. And it's so cool. Like, you know, you can choose to put as much time as you want to revenue share. If you really want to impact your life in a big way, I would recommend at least 3 to 5 hours a week. I think with 2 to 3 years of consistent effort of 3 to 5 hours a week, you can build a 6-figure a year passive income. That's life-changing for sure. But it's like, you know, if you just think of the math, like I said, my goal was to get 25 agents in 5 years. Like, think about how many houses you're going to sell in the next 5 years. Well, on year 6, if you sell, say, even 10 houses a year for the next 5 years, that's 50 houses you'll sell. Year 6, you're not getting any more income from those sales. It's done. You have to start over. With revenue share, you only need to get 25. And my goal was $25,000 a month in residual income that would keep going year after year after year and would keep growing. So maybe that's new information to you, maybe it's not, but it's a real opportunity, and it's a big part of my mission to make sure that all agents understand that that's a possibility so they can go after it. So
how many people are in your group now, AJ?
We I checked this morning, I think it was 2,654.
2,600 agents in your group.
Yeah.
So I got a quick question. So if you gain 5 people and then they recruit someone, does that go under you or it goes under them?
Yep. It both.
Oh, so it's a win-win for both of you?
Yeah. Yep. I'll share my screen. Doug.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. That's a great question. Click my 3 dots in my window and add me as like a admin or moderator. Then I'll be able to share my screen.
Yeah, I was actually wondering the same thing, because I thought that only the people that were directly under you added to your revenue share.
No,
Yep.
it's 7 levels, guys.
7
Your
levels.
mind's about to get blown right now.
Yeah.
if you haven't seen this before.
Yeah. This,
Okay.
this, like, guys, this is like, so does anyone trade Bitcoin? Raise your hand if you trade Bitcoin. Okay. So you 2 guys are way smarter than me. I was on a hike this morning and I was listening to a podcast. Like, I obviously know what cryptocurrencies are and I've had for years, but I've never invested. And I was listening to this podcast and it just hit me today on this hike as it's going through record highs. And I feel like I don't even want to buy it because it's so high, but I'm probably still going to buy it, but I'm kicking myself. Like Bitcoin is going to go to mind-blowing levels, and I finally see it. And that's how I feel about EXP revenue share. Like most people just won't see it, but those who do are going to create life-changing wealth for them and their great grandchildren. Like this is generational wealth. Like everyone here is with EXP, so I can share this. And I only share it to inspire you, not because it's like me bragging on myself, because I could care less about that. But this was my 4th month in a row where I'm earning over 100 grand per month. And I've only been with the company for 4 years. Like you cannot do that as a real estate agent. You can, but you would be almost like a unicorn if you do that as a real estate agent selling houses. You would need to have a lot of staff members, unless you're an extreme luxury agent. You need tons of staff members. You would need to be spending your expenses for staff, for leads would be probably in the tune of a couple $1 million a year. Like it would be a very large operation and it would not be residual. Like this is the opportunity of a lifetime. So this is gonna be a simple example, guys, on how to earn $15,000 per month in revenue share. And then in your head, you can just think like, well, if I want to earn $150,000 per month, I need to add a 0. So that's 180 grand a year annual. And then these last two numbers, 4.5 million is how much you would have to have saved at a 4% withdrawal rate to be able to spend 15 grand per month. So there was a study done back in the late 90s. It's called the Trinity study, and it's widely accepted among most financial planners. Basically, whatever you retire on, you can spend 4% of that for the rest of your life, and there's like a 97% chance that you will not run out of money. So when you go to retire one day, whether it's like, next year or when you're 70, you'll have 97% chance of not running out of money if you have all your money invested in a low-cost index fund and you withdraw 4%. So you would need $4.5 million saved to be able to spend $15,000 per month in retirement. So this example is going to be my friend here, Donna. Donna is going to build her revenue share part-time because she's full-time selling real estate. She has a 3-year plan. She wants to attract 10 agents into the company. So 3 year 1, 3 year 2, and then she'll get 4 in year 3. For the sake of math, we're going to assume that they're all capping agents. A capping agent is simply somebody in most markets selling between like 10 and 12 houses, to give you an idea. So just on her first tier, so these are all people that she personally enrolled into the company. She will earn $2,800 per year from those agents. Now where it gets really good is Donna's like, well, that makes a lot of sense. I like that. Well, what if I help them also attract other agents? So like, for example, and this applies to anyone on the call, if you ever need help with agent attraction, feel free to reach out to me and I'll talk to your recruits for you. I would just ask that they're like top producing agents or teams or independent brokerages, just because my time's a little more limited because of having so many agents. But I'll gladly get on a call with like a top producing agent and share my story and help recruit them for you, because we all work together to build. So that's what Donna's going to do. She's going to help those 10 attract 10. Now this is where it starts to get really good. And we're just going to go down 2 tiers for this example. So Donna's people that she sponsored are also going to sponsor 10. So 10 times 10 is 100 agents on her second tier. So let's just say Donna sponsored Doug. Doug's her tier 1 agent. Well, Doug's going to also sponsor, say, 5, 10, 15 agents. So Doug's making the $2,800 per capping agent on his first tier, but those agents are Donna's second tier because it goes Donna, then Doug's first tier. So Donna actually makes up to $3,200 per capping agent. So it's the 10 by 10 plan. It's just easy math. We keep the numbers round. Some agents you attract, they're going to sponsor nobody. Some agents that you attract are going to sponsor 10, 20, 50 agents. But on average, 10 is a good number to use. So on your second tier, she's earning $320,000 per year. That's $348,000 annually. So she's pretty excited about that. But then she's like, well, wait, what if they're not all cappers? So we're just going to assume they're not all that they're half cappers. NAR says the average agent sells 6 houses a year. We're going to say the average agent in Donna's organization sells only 4 to 6 homes. So we'll just cut that in half because now they're half cappers, not full cappers. That's where we get the 180,000 per year. So from Donna, over a 3-year period, talking and sponsoring 10 agents and helping them to do the same, she's earning 180 grand a year. I mean, if you sold 10 houses this year, unless you have an amazing average sale price, you're not making $180,000. And even if you did make that much, that's for 1 year. To Donna, this is lifetime or until real estate agents get replaced by robots that can also be psychologists. So we're a ways off from that. So it's going to be going for a while. And this is on top of Donna selling houses. So maybe Donna makes 100 grand a year selling houses. Now she's making 180 grand a year rev share. She's making 280 a year. If she has a pain in the butt client, she doesn't have to work with them. She'll refer them to her competition. Life's good. She goes on vacation. She's not worried about losing deals. You know, things change a little bit. She's able to help more people. She's able to provide for her family at a high level. So the question I always like to propose is, what's more likely to happen, or which choice do you want? Attract 10 agents and help them track some agents, or save $4.5 million. I'm friends with real estate agents who make over $1 million a year selling houses, and they don't have 4.5 million saved. So it's not easy to save that much in cash after taxes, after lifestyle inflation. You know, it's like, if you drove by a real estate office, you would think everyone's just crushing it because there's so many BMWs and Mercedes in the parking lot, but the average agent only makes 40 grand a year. So does that make sense, Laura, on how that can stack like that?
Yes, that explained that perfectly. That was awesome. That's what I
Yeah.
needed to hear.
And then that happens 7
And-
tiers down. So
Wow.
like, you know, I'll just show you a little example. Let me get my screen up. All right. I had all this up earlier for my last call. So like, so this is 18 months in, like I mentioned. Well, here's 18 months in. So this is my first tier. I had 22 agents. My second tier had 77. So that's actually almost exactly 110 agents right there on those first 2 tiers. But then I had that many 99 agents on my third tier, all the way down. I had 7 agents on my 7th tier, or I'm sorry, 44 agents on my 7th tier. So it can get a little crazy, like really crazy. Like there's people in the company that have like 5,000 people on their 7th tier. And you can earn up to $4,000 per agent on your 7th tier.
That's what I was going to ask, is what the caps are per level on down, or
Yeah.
how that works.
Yeah. You can pull up a chart if you Google it, but it's like 2,800 first tier, 3,200 second tier. Then it drops down to like 2,400, and then like 1,200, 800. Then it goes back up like 12, 2, then 4. Yeah. So it thins out in the middle, and then it's like a really nice bonus on the 7th level, because it's tough to open up your 7th level. Like you need 40 producing agents that you personally recruited to open up your 7th tier. So that's a lot. I have 30 right now. Very few people in the company have. There's actually like 5 in the entire company that have all 7 tiers open. But you always get paid on all levels, no matter what. You just get paid more if you unlock the levels. So like on your 7th tier, you'll get paid $50. If somebody has a $10,000 commission check that they get, you'll get paid $50. If you had it unlocked, you'll get $500. So it's a big difference, especially on the 7th tier. On the 6th tier, I want to say it's only like $50 versus like $200. So it's not as stark. If you really want to do this, these are the numbers. You need to get 25 as fast as possible. If you're like, this is new information for me, this is life-changing information, I want to do this, I would set a goal to sponsor at least 1 to 2 a month. So you could get your 25 in 1 year. And then those 25, out of those 25, you'll have 1 or 2 who are just as excited as you are. That's it. Out of 25, you'll have 1 to 2 who are ready to do it like you. And then that 1 or 2 goes out and gets their 25, and they're going to have 1 or 2 that really wants to do this. So then you start to have this amazing downline, for lack of a better term, of powerhouse agents who are just going after it. So it's pretty good.
I've been talking about the wrong shit on YouTube, obviously.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, and we're such a young company. We've really only picked up steam in the last 5 years. 5 years ago, we had about 500 agents. We have over 42,000 now. So my point of bringing that up is there's a lot of people already making a lot of money at this company through revenue share, but the next 5 to 10 years, there, I believe, will be hundreds of agents, hundreds making over $1 million a year. There's already probably about 25 who did it last year, maybe 20 who did it last year, and there'll probably be 30 to 40 that do it this year. That's residual. And it grows very fast. So cool. What questions do you guys got? Doug, anything you want me to touch on?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, AJ, I barely even sold 1 house. How the hell can I talk to an agent about joining EXP? That's not me, right?
Yeah, that's a great question.
That's for big producing agents.
Yeah, that's the hang up for a lot of agents too, that they use that excuse as a reason not to take action. So there's this guy, Wilco. He's out of Texas. He is or was a little league soccer coach, and he got his real estate license primarily just to build revenue share. He had a couple rental properties, so he's got the idea of residual income. So he joined and got his real estate license to build residual income through revenue share. So he had never sold a house. And within a couple of years, probably about 3 years, he was already over 500 agents in his organization making $20,000 to $30,000 a month. So he's a great example of somebody who did it and didn't take a no for an answer. And he didn't make excuses. He picked up the phone and called agents, which is allowed. You just can't like spam email people. You can't like spam drop voicemails on 1,000 agents at one time, but you can pick up the phone and individually dial as many agents as you want per day. And that's what he did initially. There's a lot of ways to do it, and we have a lot of training on it. And there's great interviews in the cloud office every Monday and Wednesday of top attractors being interviewed. So anyone can do it. And the reason why anyone can do it is because it doesn't matter about you. The person looking at EXP for the first time or the second or the third time, they don't care about you that much. What they care about is the opportunity. So we have a very simple system in place. So if you're looking to attract an agent, what you do is you call them, you text them, you reach out to them through LinkedIn, whatever, depending on who it is. There's different ways to approach them. And you create curiosity. So it's a 3-step process. So you create some curiosity. It doesn't matter if you sold one house or 1,000 houses. Anyone can create a little curiosity about EXP. So that might sound like, hey, Doug, awesome deal that we just finished. You're a great agent to work with. Just out of curiosity, man, like I see you're over at Keller Williams. That's where I was. Have you taken a good hard look at EXP yet?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, my broker already told us about it and told us to stay away, that you guys were going to recruit us. So whatever.
Yeah, that's awesome. I actually seen your new profile picture with hashtag unrecruitable on it. That's awesome. So yeah, I can totally appreciate that because I look my time. What do you say?
I said I bleed red.
Yeah, I bleed red.
KW red. I bleed KW red. I'm unrecruitable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And whatever they say, hey, and I can totally appreciate that. I understand. But have you seen like the whole presentation on it? Like the whole presentation? Because when I saw it, my mind was blown. Have you seen it yet, Doug?
Well, no, but you guys, you don't have office space and blah blah blah. Your stock's junk, and it's just, I'm really happy where I'm at.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. And I was super happy where I was too. And we do have free office space through Regis and our stock. I don't know if you saw, but we're actually on the NASDAQ stock exchange now and everything. But anyways, I mean, maybe this isn't for you, but it might be worth, a few minutes of your time just to really check it out and make sure, I had a friend recently actually say to me that not looking at EXP was the most financially irresponsible thing that he ever did. And it took him 3 years to join. I'm sure you wouldn't want to miss out on something like that. So would you be open to looking at the video? Take maybe 20, 30 minutes.
Oh, it's just a video?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I could do that.
Awesome. When could you watch it by?
I'll probably watch it tomorrow.
Okay. So tomorrow, today's Wednesday, I guess. So tomorrow's Thursday. So if I call you, say around 2:00, would you say you would have watched it by then?
Oh, I don't know. I might watch it at night.
Okay. What time do you think?
Well, my kids go to bed at 7:30, so I'll probably watch it around 7:30.
Okay, cool. So the video is about a half hour. So if I called you at 8:00, would you have maybe 5, 10 minutes to chat real quick?
Sure.
Cool. So that's all it is. If Doug said, no, I don't want to watch the video, I would say, hey, cool, totally get it. Awesome. Thanks for the great job you did on the deal. Or like whatever, like you don't care. Like if they don't want to watch it, you don't care. Like there's 2 million realtors in North America and actually just the US. And the realtors that are there are not the same realtors that were there yesterday. Probably just today, there's a decent amount of realtors who retired, who died, who gave up on the business, went back to their old jobs. And there's probably hundreds, if not thousands, of new agents who just got their license this week. So there's just so many agents. So I heard a great saying, and it's to marry the process, divorce the result. So the process is just introducing it to people. The result is if they join or not. So just marry the process and divorce the result. And what I found is that will help you take more action in your business. It's the same thing with selling real estate. Selling real estate and agent attraction go hand in hand. The skills are transferable. The habits are the same habits. That's why this is so cool. It's not like I'm not asking you to do something completely different. I'm not asking you to do anything, but like if you want to do agent attraction, like it complements your business perfectly. Because
so I don't have to sit here and have coffee with agents and explain the entire model and rehearse it. Like I have to do it like a listing appointment, right?
Yeah. Unless you're a master at doing it, it will hurt you. It will hurt you to try to explain EXP to people. There's realistically out of the 20 or 42,000 agents in the company, probably less than 100 who should ever be giving the presentation. And even them are probably still having them watch the video first. Every person I've ever recruited has watched the video first, and then that opens up the conversation. So
I just put the link in the chat box, www.itsthenewre.com. Is that what we should be using?
That one's good. And I put the modelexplain.com there too. That one's a little bit newer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Model explain.
So it's like, it's just not that difficult, guys. It's just what it's gonna take for you to succeed at this. It's getting a running mate. So find somebody who wants to do this too. Make them an accountability partner. So it's like, hey, did you talk to the 5 agents you said you were going to talk to last week? No, you didn't. All right, great. Well, now you got to pay me $100 because that's what the deal was. Like make it fun, make it a game. Share wins with each other. Share frustrations. Like when you need encouragement, they're going to be there and encourage you. Get plugged into the different groups that are happening. Everybody here, if you're not in my Facebook group, the Go Getters, you're welcome to join that. You can ask questions in there. You can see other people ask questions. There's some recorded trainings in there. You just gotta keep it part of your focus. Like, if you break down this business, it's very simple. So like when I was still selling real estate, I knew every day, no matter what, I had to make 20 contacts to sellers. They were expired listings or FSBOs. That's all I really had to do that day. If nothing else happened besides that, I had a successful day. And that's the hard work. Like, making the contacts is the hard work in this business. So that was it. So now it's like, for this, it's make your 20 contacts from 8 to 10, then from 10:30 to 11, after you take a little half-hour break, have some coffee, whatever, reach out to 2 agents on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, people that you know, people that showed your listings, cross-sell agents, whatever, it doesn't matter. But if you talk to 2 a day, that's 10 a week, that's 40 a month. We call it 2, 10, 40. You'll be one of the top attractors in this company within 2 to 3 years. And just by talking to 2 agents a day, which only takes a half hour, would probably put you in the top 1%, if not the top 0.01% of the company that's taking action on this opportunity. So there's just no excuse not to do this if you want to do it. If you don't want to do it, like, that's totally cool. But if you want to do this, then just do it, because it is so big and it doesn't take that much effort. It just takes focus and consistency.
So is that revenue share based? I mean, is it given to us as stock, or is that an actual check, or how does that work?
That, my friend, is a wire to your account by the 22nd of every month. And it looks like, not that. So this is enterprise, and you have your revenue share dashboard. So this is what I'm expected to get this month, and this is what I got last month. And that's a wire to your account. So
Wait, AJ, why do you live in Puerto Rico?
because it's the Caribbean, baby, and it's 4% taxes.
4% flat tax.
Yeah.
Considering we're looking at moving in 5 years after my daughter graduates, that's not a bad place to go.
So you have to export services is the deal. So the services I export are consulting, coaching services. So if your primary income was revenue share, you could totally do it. If it was your real estate business, you could still do it, but you'd be a marketing business being contracted by your real estate business. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Joe Shaw, they have the link to the video. We posted that.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Okay. Which of the 2
Which-
links is the link?
Yeah.
So both of
Sorry.
them are. Both of them
Oh,
are.
okay.
Yeah, I would watch both of them and see which one you like
Yes.
the best to share.
Perfect.
Yeah,
I like that you told us about even if we haven't really sold a house, it's still a possibility for us. And it's true, we're selling the idea. Even if somebody is another agent and they're like, Laura's not that good of an agent, why should I go to EXP? But if they see the video, they could see, wow, I could excel in this company. Like, even if they didn't personally like you, there's still a win. It's still a win-win.
yeah,
Like that.
exactly. It's like, in this business, there will be times when an agent that you want to sponsor joins under somebody else. It happens to me, and I'm in the top 20 of the whole
Yep.
company. It happens, and that's okay. Personalities don't align, like whatever, and that's okay. But if somebody doesn't join EXP because the person showing them EXP is a brand new agent, then they shouldn't join EXP. Like, we can't help you. Because once you see the video and then get on a call with somebody else, a 3-way call, like with Doug, with me, with somebody else, and they still don't want to join, that's cool, because they did their due diligence, and I'm happy for them because they know what they needed to know to make the best decision for them. So like, what you need to do as a new agent or anybody, you just got to get good at introducing the opportunity to people. And then you need to get good at following up. It's the exact same thing with real estate sales. You need to get good at telling people you're an agent. And then you need to get good at following up with those people. It's the same exact thing. It's so transferable. So I would just like, it's called your daily method of operation. Like, what key things need to happen in your life every day to be successful? And you should keep it very simple. So like right now, if you're selling real estate and you want to do agent attractions, 20 contacts a day to sellers, this is my opinion, and 2 agent contacts. Like, you can just hop on LinkedIn and just send out some messages. I just started a new health regimen. It's called the 75 Hard. And there's specific things that I need to do for that. There's like 5 of them. And like right now, I don't even care about business. I mean, I care about it, but those aren't essential for me. Right now, my daily activities are just around that 75 hard. If I do those, I had a successful day. I struggled a lot when I was selling real estate initially, and there's still times when I do, for sure, when I lose my focus a little bit. You know, I'm not a robot. And I always look back at like why I'm like kind of in a rut or just not feeling fulfilled or like whatever. And it's because I didn't have a good measure for what a successful day looked like. Like, you could just be crushing it out of the park by all standards and still feel like, man, I suck, you know, like I'm not doing enough, because you can't hit a target that's not even there, right? But if you just know that your thing is 20 contacts to sellers, 2 contacts to agents, and that's a successful day, you'll go home fulfilled and you'll feel good and you'll feel energized for the next day. And then what happens is you're not going to get any results if you're a brand new agent, probably for the next 60 days. You're gonna be like, this sucks. I got no listings. I went on a listing appointment. I blew it because I don't know what I'm doing. That sucked. No agents want to join EXP. That sucks too. And then if you push through that and you don't give up like the 90% of people, and you push through that, day 90, day 120, you're like, I have 4 active listings. I just pulled under a contract. 2 new agents just joined EXP. And now you're making 6 figures a year selling real estate. And now you're making 5-10 grand a month in revenue share just 2 years later. And you're like, wow, I'm making a couple $100 grand a year. Life's good. I improve my family's lives. I'm able to help my mom or my sibling who's struggling financially. You know, like, that's just the difference between those who fail and those who succeed is they have the consistent effort over time. And when it sucks, and it's going to suck at some points, they push through it. They don't give up.
So you guys said that
Animated.
you listened to your
I
different
love that, Doug.
podcasts today. Has anybody ever watched Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Because I feel like this is just selling me more to that idea. Has anybody ever seen that?
Yeah,
Watched it?
I read the book.
I'm on chapter 4, and this is making me like, I'm
Oh,
like
yeah.
excited.
Yeah,
It's true. It's like you want to be able to put stuff in your asset column, not your liability column. And that
Yeah.
way, this is a way to have revenue and to build wealth instead of, oh, here's a bunch of money, like I won the lottery, and then you blow it because you don't know how to.
yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
Super
That's
cool.
it. That book changed my life because it taught me those principles. Because
Yep.
they don't really teach that in school too much.
Nope.
By design.
Mm.
By design. That's good. Yeah. And that's the thing
So-
too, guys. Like, this is 90% mindset. As stupid as it sounds, it's like, oh, that's stupid. Like, it kind of is stupid when you think about it. Oh, this is all 90% mindset. But it's so true. It's like, all you need to do is talk to 2 agents a day for the next 2 to 3 years, and you're probably financially set for the rest of your life. But most people won't do it because the game going between their 2 ears is a losing game. And they never have the mental capacity, the energy, the perseverance to do it. This is just so simple, but people are not listening to podcasts. People are not reading books. So
The thing that always gets me when I talk to AJ is how formulaic it gets for him and how just clear the vision is, right? Because you and I we can have a conversation about my sales, and we can talk about Doug wants to make a better buyer website, etc. And then you just start asking questions, trying to figure out what I actually want and why do I want to spend money on that and chase buyers all over town, driving around on weekends and after work. And then, so we talk about that. And then I said to you last time, I said, you're probably just going to tell me to talk to 2 agents a day, which I'm not doing. I'm not doing that. And you're like, well, yeah, of course, because it pays you indefinitely. And, you know, you can, it's such a better appointment than even listing $1 million house, $30,000 check. It's better than a $1 million listing appointment is talking to 2 agents a day. And so I get in my own way. Absolutely. Absolutely. I do.
Just
Yeah.
to bust Doug's chops real quick. I would say the only person in this chat that's not in Doug's downline is me. And
no, Alicia's not in my downline, and Melissa's not in my downline.
Oh, my bad. But when I called him,
But you are invited.
I was invited. I appreciate that. But when I called him and we talked, I only mentor people in my downline typically. It's like, all right. And then we had a further conversation, and because I'm the salesperson I convinced him why that's dumb. And so now here we are. So you really should be reaching out to more people for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
As should I.
Yeah, totally. Like one of the things that benefited me early on with agent attraction is for a couple of years prior to that, I was just adding realtor friends on Facebook, like outside my area. I would just go to like the different Facebook groups that are out there and I would just add agents. Like maybe once a month I'd add like 100. And what happened, because I was like, hey, these people can send me referrals. So what happened is they accepted my friend request and they started following my posts. And I post on occasion, not every day, but a few times a week. I try to do every day, but I'm not that consistent with it. And they started to know me. And when they saw I switched to EXP, some of them reached out to me. You know, that's not the reason I succeeded by any stretch of the imagination, but I signed up a handful of agents just because I friend requested a bunch on Facebook and they followed me for a couple of years. And a handful of them sent me referrals. Like I was probably doing 20 to 30,000 in commissions on referrals from that strategy a year too. There's just so many ways you can make money in this. But like what Doug was saying, it's like I just try to help break things down for people because my natural inclination is to try to do a lot of things and make things complex. And that's what most people do. You know, like Doug wanted to do this buyer website and he wanted to do this, this, and this. I'm like, what's your goal? And I already knew Doug's goal. At least I thought I knew it. My perception of it is that he wants to spend as much time with his family as he can and travel to amazing places because he loves travel. You know, that's a lot of people's goals. That's my goal. And it's just a fact. Selling more houses is not going to help you accomplish that goal. But revenue share will. And it takes less money to do it, takes less time, it's a lot less stressful. When I quit selling houses because revenue share was able to allow me to retire from it, I lost 10 pounds and I didn't change anything else because stress makes you carry weight. It's hard to lose weight when you're stressed because of cortisol. So like, it's just funny. It's just funny. But keep things simple, guys. That's my best advice. Keep things simple. Keeping things simple is actually hard and complexity is easy. But you need to keep things simple because when things are complex, typically you're in a confused state of what the next best action item is. And you always have a lot of things on your plate and none of them really get done or none of them get done well. But if you just have 1 or 2 items on a daily basis that you know you got to knock out, then you do it consistently and you create momentum. And momentum wins the game, both in real estate sales and agent attraction. And I just preach that all the time because I'm like the product of that. Like you leave me alone for a day in my office, I'll have more plans than anyone could imagine in a year, and I would have accomplished nothing except for planned a lot of really awesome things. So I'm usually just preaching to myself.
Or you might be like me and go down a rabbit hole for absentee owners and end up accidentally spending $1,800 on postcards.
Yeah.
It happens.
I'm not in disagreement with that move though, just because it probably is a good
I'm kind of
move.
excited about it.
It's a good test, and it goes along with your farming. Like
Yeah,
it's still farming. It's just not your neighborhood.
right. I'm
And
interested
for
to see what's
sellers.
going to come of it. And then
Yeah.
if I get like one thing in the next 20, 30 days, I might go do it again. And then I might do it again in March.
Yeah,
Because it's going to compound, I think. So
yeah.
we'll see. That's a lot of freaking money in first quarter though, but whatever.
If you get a listing from that, you better keep doing it, man, because it'll pay off
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's worth it, man. It's like if you spend $2,000 to get a $7,000 commission check, you just made 5,000.
Mhm.
And then you might get referrals from that deal, and then they might be a repeat client. But all of those other 999 postcards or whatever that got sent out, they might call you next month.
Yeah.
It's good. Any
AJ,
last
do you-
questions, guys?
Yeah, do you have have you, is there a video somewhere of you discussing all of this?
Yeah, nothing
This
like
video.
short and concise. But Doug, you can add him to Go Getters. So it's a Facebook group I have, and then there's recorded trainings in there from me and other people. But there's also a video at the top that's like pinned to the top. And in the comments of that video, there's a link to my Agent Attraction Academy, and you can just sign up for free. And that's like my recruiting system.
Joe, who's your sponsor?
My actual, Ed, my coach,
Ed who?
Colburn in North Carolina.
Do you know him, AJ?
Is his wife former Keller Williams team leader?
Possibly.
Does he like to fly fish?
No, it's not him.
But I don't know.
He's big into barbecue. He used to own a barbecue business, and then he moved over. I ended up in an area. Things are real short at AXP because my brother who lives in North Carolina is friends with him, and then he showed me the model as far as I don't know. He made the numbers made sense, and so I ended up switching over under him, even though I'm in Florida, and then I found Doug by pure chance.
Okay, cool. That's how
Found
things
Doug
work,
because
man.
he's a certified mentor and nobody else is taking mentees except for this sucker.
Yeah, you guys send Doug a late Christmas present, because being a mentor is like the least paying job inside of real estate, the lowest paying job. But Doug's got a big
We
heart.
appreciate you, Doug.
Yeah, we do.
Alicia, who's your sponsor?
My sponsor was someone off of YouTube. Her name's Samantha. She's in Texas, and she's under the Chauncey group, which I feel like is one of the biggest groups. I don't know if that's one of the top producing, but I mean, our Facebook group is like insane, and I don't really take advantage of it. But
Do you know them, AJ?
I think I've heard the last name Chauncey at some point, or maybe seen a logo, but doesn't ring a bell too much.
And
Okay.
Melissa's sponsor is AJ Casella. Is that right, Melissa?
Yes,
Brian Casella.
Brian Casella, correct. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you're on my second
That was
team.
a Freudian slip, I think.
Yeah, I sponsor Brian.
Yeah, I joined EXP by watching his videos.
Yeah,
So he inspired me, and here I am.
that's awesome.
So two people joined EXP from watching YouTube videos out of this group. What's that tell you?
Means that I'm talking about the wrong shit on YouTube.
Well, here's also a field test. Melissa, are you a new agent?
I've been with EXP for about a year, yes, I guess, semi-new.
Okay, and so you joined EXP as a new agent though?
No, I was actually, my former brokerage was Exit.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, they have like a little bit of like revenue sharing kind of, I think.
yes, they do. Mhm.
How long were you with them for?
I would say a year.
Okay.
It wasn't a good match, so
So you were in real estate for a year before you joined EXP.
Yes.
Okay. And is it Alicia? Alicia, what about you? How long were you in real estate before EXP?
No, EXP is my first. I'm a brand new agent and I joined right away with EXP.
Cool. Yeah. So that's the field test that I suspected. Most agents joining through YouTube are just newer agents, which is awesome because I have a lot of new agents that join me through YouTube too. But if you want to get serious about agent attraction, just remember this, maybe even write it down. Your focus of sponsorship should be capping agents. And the reason for that is because if they're a capping agent, they have more agent relationships to reach out to. So that's the primary reason. You know, if you only been selling a year, you know, or you're brand new, you just don't have many contacts that you can reach out to in your warm market yet. And that's okay. And the other reason is because there's just a high failure rate in real estate. So if you sponsor 10 new agents, most of them won't be in real estate a few years later. Whereas if you sponsor 10 capping agents, they'll probably all still be in real estate. So that just needs to be the focus. And even if you're a brand new agent, you can reach out to capping agents and get them to sign up. So don't feel like if you're new that you need to talk to only new agents. Like I would always be thinking reach up. Like my buddy, John Mikesh, reached out to somebody that he was friends with, but it was a very difficult phone call to make. This guy, Lars Hedenborg, who owns a real estate coaching company, and he made his list. So the first step is making your list of contacts to reach out to. And he looked what would be the most difficult person to reach out to that would make the biggest impact in my business. And he reached out to him when he joined. And that one phone call, I'm not even exaggerating, it will be worth about $1 million a year in income to him, probably within the next 3 years. And it will just continue to grow. Like it's already worth about 80 grand a year to him. And he just joined 3 months ago. And he's already got over 100 people in his group. Like that's how big.
So you're saying, go ahead. You keep going. No, like you're saying, if you can nail a whale, like the big dog, then they're more likely to have more people underneath them. And that would be a better
Whale hunting.
recruiting them. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to go whale hunting. Well, really, and you never know who's going to be the rock star in your group. Like, you know, you're a brand new agent, Laura, and, you know, who knows, 12 months from now, we're talking and you might have 100 people in your group. So I don't discount newer agents, you know, and I don't think someone who has a big real estate business, I don't count that as like money in the bank, because even them, if they had a downside, someone selling hundreds of homes a year, their downside is that they're a little bit of they're a captive of their success. They don't want to take their focus off of that success to pursue revenue share. So a lot of times they don't. It's really the drive and the desire in the person's heart, and no one can look into their heart except for themselves and God. So I always count everybody in until they show me that they're going to count themselves out. I heard someone say one time, it was real good. One of my real estate coach at one point, but he said, I look at every person and put a 10 on their forehead. Like they're a 10 out of 10 in my eyes until they prove me different. So that's how I try to look. It doesn't matter if it's a brand new agent or what, but they start off as a 10. And I'm going to work with them as a 10. I'm going to expect that they're going to take it as serious as I take it. And if they don't, I'm not mad. I'm not upset. I'm just like, oh, that's no problem. They're actually a 7. And I'm going to help them as a 7 because my goals aren't their goals. You know, it's like I say, I run with the runners, I walk with the walkers, but I'm not going to sit with the sitters. So like, if you guys want to walk on your revenue share journey, I'll walk with you, and I'm happy to, because that's what you want to do. That's your goal. But if you want to sit there, I just don't do that. You know, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, Laura, come on, you know, call some agents, you know, it'll change your life. I'm just gonna be like, all right, you're good. There's other people who are walking and running that need my help. It takes a lot of pressure off you when you think that way. I think like their success does not depend on you. Like a lot of people get caught up in like the pressure, like, oh, if I bring someone on EXP, then I got to help make them succeed. No, you don't. That's on them. So, well, cool guys. We're at the hour. Any last questions, and we'll wrap it up. Appreciate you having me on, Doug.
Thank
I
you.
have a question, AJ. Do we have these videos in Spanish, like the recruiting videos?
There are some great ones on YouTube. I would search EXP Realty Spanish on YouTube, and there's a few that appear to be really good. I don't speak Spanish, but a few that look to be pretty good in Spanish, and I would use those ones.
You don't speak Spanish and you live in Puerto Rico? What's
Poquito,
going on, man?
poquito. My wife and I were actually just talking today how we're setting a goal to learn one phrase in Spanish a week. And my idea is that at the end of a year, I'll know 300 to 400 words in Spanish, and that will be a good start. But there's a lot of people where I live that speak English. So
If
That's awesome.
the 75 hard challenge included learning a word a day in Spanish, it'd already be a thing, wouldn't it?
that's
Just got to
good.
put it on your poster, AJ.
Good. That's a good idea, man. I do, because if I don't, it's likely not to happen.
Yeah. It just depends. You can't do everything, but I know you're committed to that. So
You,
if it just
you
made
can't-
it onto the poster, AJ.
you can't do it. If it was part of the 75 hard, I'd be like fluent after 75 days.
Yeah. Right.
Like it's just where I live in Puerto Rico, you just don't need Spanish. So it's like, it's not like it's helping me by living here to learn it. And the Spanish in Puerto Rico, are you from Puerto Rico, Melissa?
Yes, from Aguadilla.
Aguadilla. So like the Spanish, correct me if I'm wrong, Melissa, is a little bit different in Puerto Rico than maybe like they see like instead of gracias, it's gracia.
Yes.
Or instead of buenos dias, it's buen dia.
Well, it depends on what part of Puerto Rico you're from.
Humacao.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, and also in Puerto Rico, like the Spanish in Puerto Rico is a lot different than in Spain, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot more broken, more slang.
And I feel like they talk fast.
Yes.
All right. Awesome. Hey,
Cool,
when do you guys
Melissa.
want to have AJ back? We're going to ask him right now. Will you come back, AJ?
If there's twice as many people on the call.
Okay. We got to deliver. Okay.
Everyone invite one. That's all it takes. Everyone just invites one.
All right. April. We'll hit you up in April.
Dude, I'll be on here in 2 weeks if you have
Okay.
1,
Twice
2,
as many
3,
people.
4, 5, 6, 7, 14. You just let me know. And if there's a topic that you guys want like more help with, then I'm happy to focus on a topic. My goal today was just to paint the vision.
All right. We'll put it together. What if each of us got 1 or 2 or whatever people to watch the video? Should we do like a recruiting call with all of us, with 15, 16 people?
Yeah, I'm super down with that.
You're down with that? Would that give people a goal?
I like that.
Watch the video. Hey, my group is doing a special live call on whatever it is, January 27th or something like that.
Yeah.
And just threw a day out. Is that a good strategy?
What I would do, Doug, is
Mhm.
on Brent Go or attractionresources.com or brentgove.com, look at his webinar times.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I think they're 3 o'clock Eastern. So we would say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Prospect, would you be open to watching a webinar on EXP at 3 o'clock this Thursday? Oh, you are? Okay, great. Well, let's plan on that. And then at 3:30, I'm gonna have you chat if you're still interested with one of my partners, AJ. He's one of the top guys in the company, and he can answer all your questions and kind of share his story. It'll blow your mind. He created financial freedom in 18 months after joining.
Okay.
So then after Brent's video, we just hop on my Zoom link, and then it's more like a Q&A. I share my story, kind of like a testimonial after the presentation.
I'll send this out for you guys. What AJ is doing, he said, use the resources that already exist. Let's not try to recreate something, and then he'll support how he needs to support, basically, is what he's saying, right? So
Amen,
I'll
brother.
send you Brent's webinars
Cool.
Cool. Thank
Let me
you.
know. See you, buddy.
Yep.
See you
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
See ya.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.